Hello and welcome back everybody. Today I bring to you the survival challenge for The Sims 4, and I just found that while I was trying to find some ideas what to do for my Monday video, and some Sims channel, someone who plays The Sims as well, he did this, and I don't know how it started or if that guy started it, I can't even remember the name, but I thought I'd try it too. So there's a very basic concept to it. You create 3 Sims and you create 3 similar rooms, and then you set them to make like automatic decisions, so you're not going to interfere at all, you're just watching them, and every day at the same time you remove an item from each place. I guess the rules vary a little bit. I did it so that at 7 p.m. each evening I would remove an item. At least I tried to pay attention to that. Sometimes I forgot because I was just staring at things or whatever. So yeah, so what I did was really just give them the bare minimum, or what I would call the bare minimum, just, you know, the fridge, something to prepare food on, a sink, toilet, and so on. Like, you see it, you know, a bit of fun. And then I just started not really playing it, but actually just watching them, watching the time, and then removing an item. I think there are different versions of this challenge out there. Some people remove whatever the sim needs least or whatever he needs most. And what I did was I removed the exact same item at the same time from each sim and just see what happens. So you can see in the background right now is just how I was building the whole place. I tried to decide on a square size, basically 5 by 5, and just to give every room a separate color. And you will also notice that all the Sims that I made have the same color for their room. So I have a yellow Sim who's called Yellow Man, and a blue Sim who's called Blue Man, and a green one who's called Green Man, and they're in their rooms. So I want to warn you, if you want to play this thing, just keep in mind it takes a while, you know, because you're not interfering, you're not doing anything apart from removing things. And so I sped the actual game up quite a bit, because just from being done building to actually the first sim dying, it took almost an hour. No, I think it took even more than an hour, so I sped it quite a bit. So yeah, I guess let's get into it. So you see in the beginning I actually started playing the normal thing. I was just, you know, unpausing the thing after I got them all to sit in their chair. I had the middle sim run to the fridge immediately when I started putting them in the places, so I actually had to make sure that he stays in his seat in the beginning. But yeah, and then I noticed that I didn't check if I actually made them autonomous, so that they would make their own decisions. So I checked that, and I just made sure that that's the case. And yeah, then I also found out that I had forgot to put lighting in, so I did that as well while I was recording the game itself. And basically everybody was on pretty much the same schedule, at least in the beginning, and it only started varying slightly throughout the thing. As I was creating the Sims, I actually created them all the exact same, like for what they like, you know, they're all, I think, genius creative art lovers, kind of. That's why I put an easel in each place. So I thought they would just, you know, go ahead and paint when they get bored or whatever. But yeah. So yeah, they basically was eating, and there wasn't really much happening in the beginning. And yeah, there isn't much more to say for the moment. I'm just gonna speed up the whole thing now, and I will talk to you when I'm done speeding this up. And through the power of magic, I am back with a sped up clip. So as you can already tell, like, there isn't much happening in the beginning, especially. There is so much on the same schedule, and they're just sleeping, and like nothing is really happening. Most of the time I actually try to keep it on the maximum speed, because it was really getting tiring and boring. So you will see how it's gonna speed up. Yeah, no. So now it's sped up like crazy. So there isn't really too much to say, really. I was trying to find good angles, and this house there, I actually have another family in there, so I wanted to see if I can look into it, but yeah, it didn't work. So one thing you will notice at some point, they keep texting each other, and they keep texting other people, and also on the first day, I'm not sure when I'm gonna get to it. Yeah, you can already see, like, the easel was the first one that went because they didn't use it anyway. Although they had no fun, they kind of kept their fun somewhat under control by texting each other. And yeah, so there isn't really too much to say, to be honest. I just kept watching them a little bit, and I didn't really do anything ever. I scrolled around a little bit when the neighbors came to greet them, but they couldn't come out, it started stinking already, and I wanted to, how you always want to interfere and make them clean things up, and then I remembered I'm not supposed to do that. But yeah, you will see how the plates are going to start piling up on those desks and on the floor. Yeah, like, why not put it on the floor? I do that every day. And yeah, as you saw, the green guy, he went to the shower, just leaving the salad on the floor. So leaving them autonomous is really interesting, actually, to watch how they how the AI is, how would you say, like, what's more important for the AI. Here, the post came, so I decided to have someone pay the bills just in case I'm playing for a longer time. I didn't know how long, and I didn't want the power to go out. And you can also see in the yellow and the blue room already that the desk or whatever, like, the thing where they prepare the food was already going crazy dirty. I removed the sinks, by the way, because it turned out that for some reason all three of them just kept standing at the sink. For some reason they were talking to the sink, or I don't know what, and they were increasing some skills at the sink. There wasn't even a mirror. I wouldn't be surprised, if there was a mirror and they would do that for the charisma or whatever. But yeah, so that's why I removed the sinks, just to give it a little bit more of a challenge, because they were just standing there. Yeah, I tried to, like, alternate between things they need and things that are just not being used with the removal. So I removed things sometimes that they weren't using anyways. I guess if I would play this again, knowing what I know now, I would probably have the rooms a little less furnished, let's say. So yeah, but now you can see they're not exactly on the exact same schedule anymore. It's still similar. Yeah, here is when I removed the countertops, just because, just to see what they're going to do. If they can't prepare any food, how are they going to keep themselves nourished? They manage, because, chips, yogurts and whatever, like, there are things they can eat that don't need preparing. So yeah, that's what I did. And you see how they keep complaining and how I just keep clicking back and forth between them. The blue guy kept texting the yellow guy while the yellow guy was sleeping, so it was a bit interesting, I don't know. So yeah, at this point they were really on different schedules. They kinda slept at the somewhat same time still, and you will also see in the end, I don't want to spoil it yet, but in the end you will see how much they were on the same schedule. I think I would really change a few things so that the algorithm and the AI won't have each sim on the exact same schedule, because it's kind of boring, you exactly know what everybody's gonna do. So I think if I'd repeat this, I would change quite a few things. As I said, like, have the rooms a bit more sparse, like less stuff in the rooms, and I would probably also change the personalities a little bit, just so they have just different things that they like or whatever. I don't know. I would just try to change things up as much as possible. So yeah, while we're watching them, throughout the character creation, when I was creating the Sims, at first I had the idea to just make 3 Sims, doesn't matter. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna make them corresponding to the room they're in, so I have a yellow, blue, and a green guy. And at first I found it a bit challenging to find the correct clothing because I'm not making Sims a lot. I build more than I play. So yeah, that was kind of an interesting thing to find all the clothing, and especially after I bought the add-on spa day or whatever. So with the spa add-on, I got more clothing, and the nice floors that you see are also from that add-on. So it gave me a bit more choice in colors, and yeah, I really enjoyed that part. As you just saw, like half a minute ago, whatever, I was taking the trash out because just for the start of this challenge I wanted to see, they can take the trash out, but I still wanted them to have the possibility to clean up, because they can get rid of those plates, they can throw them, but as you see, they chose not to do that, and they'd rather stand there and complain. So that's interesting. And also how they start being really smelly. I just stole that chair under his butt, so yeah. But yeah, so they start being really smelly, and they will start, smelling themselves and be like, ugh. So it's kind of fun actually to just see that. Yeah, the green guy, as you see, he's waving and he's like really dirty and smelly. Blue one, like everybody's smelly at this point. The yellow one took the longest because I think he actually had a shower just before I removed the shower, so yeah, it took a little bit longer, but he ended up just as dirty as everybody and as smelly as everybody else. So another thing that I actually learned throughout playing this challenge was really, they need nothing apart from, really when it comes down to it, apart from a fridge. Because so they have something to eat. They can always pass out on the floor, they can just wet themselves, as cruel as it may be. The only thing that they really need for survival is the fridge for the food. Because otherwise they can't nourish themselves. Apart from that, they really need nothing. They can survive without anything. I remember in The Sims, what was the first one I played? I think Sims 2, when you didn't have any fun and any social thing, and it went all the way down. There would this bunny or whatever would come, a huge teddy bear or whatever it was, and it would play with you, and you could talk to it until your fun is back up to a level that's acceptable, and then it would just vanish. So it was interesting that it didn't happen in The Sims 4 at all. I wonder if it's just with adults, maybe that if a kid doesn't get it. Here, he was passing out. I was wondering if, kids get no fun if they would maybe get the bunny. I wasn't sure about that, but it was interesting that it doesn't happen on The Sims 4. I found that quite a fun feature in The Sims 2. So yeah, for the fridge, I really wanted to leave it for last because I saw that in the yellow room, as you see, it's broken somehow and there's some leakage, and I was hoping that maybe it's gonna start a fire or whatever, but it didn't, and I had to remove them. And I decided to just put some doors in because at this point there was nothing really left for them to do, and I was like, okay, let's at least have them have a little bit of social time. So I gave them at least this, and as you see, that's what I was just referring a few minutes ago. They even pass out on a schedule, they pass out at the exact same time and always in the same order, and that's why I said I want to change up a few things, because they just keep, passing out at the exact same time. There's nothing is happening, and they also, you will see that they're going to die in the same order. It's really, really funny. So, I mean, funny, it sounds a little bit cruel though, they're dying in the same order, whatever. But yeah, it's kind of fun to just watch them. So as you see, they're not even moving a lot anymore. There is nothing to move towards, they don't have a reason to actually move. They just keep passing out in their own pee, it's kind of hilarious how they just keep talking, complaining, texting, and then they are going to pass out and everything starts from the beginning. So, but yeah, you could now have a guess, maybe, I guess, think who could be the one who lives the longest and who's going to die first. Take a guess. You see, I'm actually clicking back and forward the or the Sims once in a while, just so I see who's gonna be the first. And as you see, I was taking the guess that probably the blue one will die first. That's why I kept on the blue the whole time, because I wanted to see how close, like how far down is it. At this time I got really impatient because it took so long. I was like, you're so low in food, how is it that you're not dying yet? Like, it took so long from that point when nothing was in the rooms anymore and there wasn't even anything for me to look at. I was just staring at my phone the whole time until I heard something new. So yeah. So here you see, like, they're passing out, and I was thinking that the green one was dead at this point, and then the blue one died, and then I really didn't know who's dead at this point when the first one died. And you see now the green one. I wanted to let him plead. That's what he's doing right now, but of course death doesn't let people plead with him. So yeah, I was just looking, and it was really interesting. As you see, I zoomed in because he was using a tablet computer, and yeah, he's also taking the other sim. The blue and the green ones are dead, and the yellow one won. And yeah, so I had the new idea to make friends with death. So maybe at some point I'm gonna make a challenge to be friends with death, maybe even have a baby, or I don't know yet. But it sounds like a fun thing to do. Maybe just, kill off one sim so I can make friends with the other sim with death and see what happens then. So yeah, the yellow one is going to die as well in just a second, and yeah, then it's game over. And if you have never seen a game over screen in The Sims, this will be your first time. So I'm gonna give you the moment to enjoy the game over screen in The Sims. Now he's gonna die just in a second. You see how low his hunger is. He's still passing out every once in a while, but yeah, I mean, he's really low. He's still crying about his friends who just died, and now he died, as you see. So we still see death coming and taking him, and I was just keeping an eye on the, whatever this is, iPad, or I'm not sure, some kind of tablet anyway. And yeah, so that was the game over screen. And yeah, so that's it for today, and I hope you enjoyed the video. It's a little bit something different from usually. I'm not usually doing game commentaries, as you know, but yeah, I thought it would be fun. And I guess see you on Friday with the next League video. Bye!